Pessoal, sejam todos bem-vindos a mais um episódio do podcast do Clube da Micha. Sou o Tarcísio, vosso host, é bom estar com vocês. Sejam bem-vindos a mais uma edição. Não esqueçam de seguir o nosso podcast nas plataformas digitais, principalmente nas plataformas de streaming angolano, que são da Untitled e o Ehizokhale. Tenho mais um convidado especial para hoje e o nosso podcast hoje vai ser conduzido em inglês. Eu tenho um convidado nigeriano, um país irmão, e vamos aqui falar sobre alguns aspectos da economia da Nigéria, economia da Angola. O meu convidado vive em Angola, trabalha em Angola, então vai poder nos dar aqui a visão dele de como é que, o que é que funciona na Nigéria do ponto de vista da economia, até porque nós partilhamos alguns aspectos em relação à dependência do petróleo e tudo mais. Então vamos aqui ver o que é que funciona no mercado do petróleo, o que é que funciona na economia e o que é que nós podemos implementar e aprender do nosso lado. Eu vou dar boas-vindas ao meu convidado agora, Ehiz. Welcome to our podcast, man.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation. Quite short, quite short notice, man.
That is okay. I'm quite excited actually. I should thank you also for giving me the opportunity.
Cool. I want to send a big shout out to Zaida for connecting us.
Yes, Zaida.
Yeah.
Thank you. I never knew that when I talk you listen to me.
Yeah. All right then. So let us start, man.
Okay. I'm a petroleum engineer or a completion engineer, working in the oil and gas sector. And in fact, this is the life that brought me to Angola, and there's been a great pleasure. This is my professional life, I would say. It's going on 20 years now.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, 20 years and I've visited close to 22 countries.
Wow.
Yes, because of these 22 countries, I would say maybe only one or two that was for my own personal pleasure. The rest is all about this
work. Yeah.
This work.
Wow.
Exactly. Started in Nigeria because I schooled in Nigeria, and then I've been to every continent except Asia, which is actually my next dream. Before COVID struck, I hope after COVID we can go back there.
Yeah.
So this is the professional life. Okay, I would say, and then one beautiful thing about this life is that I would say it funds my dream. Yeah, this is where I make the money that I pump into my other passion, which is the tech.
All right.
Yeah, some people call it computer life, but tech life. I'm talking about, I'm a hardcore programmer. People look at me, they don't believe that I can program. I say, yeah, I do my programming by myself with my two hands.
Wow.
In fact, I've been programming. I started programming when I was in university, maybe my third year. And till date, I still program. People wonder, how do you combine both lives when they see some of the platforms I've churned out or I've built? I was like, it's simply a question of passion and less sleep. During the day, I'm a petroleum engineer, and then at night, I'm programming.
Wow.
Yeah, so I have a passion to build one of these tech unicorns. I'm talking about the Airbnb, the Uber, and all that stuff.
You're at the right place. You're in Africa, man. So
yes. In fact, when I think about what happening in Africa now and what I thought about it then, it's like night and day. I remember the very first time I wanted to build something. When I tell people this story, they don't believe me because they think I'm lying. But I don't know if there's a way to prove I'm saying the truth. My university guys can confirm. When I was in year 3, I built a social network on my university. It was called campusgist.com. From my research, years later, it was about the same time Mark Zuckerberg was building Facebook in the US. So I built this social network. I remember I built it to my computer in my room, programmed everything, and I wanted to buy a domain name, but I did not have a credit card to buy a domain name.
Online, yeah.
Yeah, so I went to this cyber cafe close to my university then. It was called Comp Classic, and I met the owner of the cafe, and I asked the guy, hey, what's the I want to buy a domain name, blah, blah, blah. So I gave him Naira, and he bought the domain name for me, campusgist.com. So for 1 year, we ran with this domain name, and then when the domain name expired, the cyber cafe had closed, and the guy was nowhere to be found. And I did not know anybody else that had a credit card
facilitate that,
to be able to renew my domain name or pay for my server. And that was how that venture just kind of crashed, went off. So now today, at a snap of a finger, I can get into the tech and do whatever I want to do. And when I think about the contrasts, how difficult it was then, and now how so easy. It's like night and day.
Night and day. Yeah, no, that's actually interesting, because some difficulties that you experiencing, you sharing that you experienced in the past. People in Angola is living now. You heard that a lot. People with some ideas and need ways to go online and do this type of thing. So we can elaborate more on that. You told me that you've been to 22 countries. Tell me in regards to African countries, the ones you've been to. Obviously, you don't spend much time in town. You most of the time offshore. But like, what experience that you've collected from being around those African countries?
Well, I can tell you that Africa is changing faster than you can imagine. In Africa, when you're in one place, in one particular country, you tend to just see the problems and the challenges of that country. And sometimes it feels like it's not moving and nothing is changing. We are just here. But if you are lucky to jump from place to place and then you come back to somewhere you have been in 5 or 10 years, you can be amazed at the difference. Obviously, I'm Nigerian, and the first African country I went to was Cameroon. This was when I was working for Schlumberger. But we didn't go much into the town, like you said. We're just at this was in Douala, close to the city. Then from Douala, I went to Equatorial Guinea. From Equatorial Guinea to Gabon. And then from Gabon to Congo, and then back to Nigeria. Okay. Then back to Congo, and in Congo I lived like 2 years. But during that time, just before I went to Congo, I had been to Tunisia and Ghana. At this time, I did not come to Angola yet. So I was in Congo, and then I remember all there was to Congo from where we lived our life, even though I was there for 2.5 years, was just one main road. Just one road. We are the one end of it.
This is Congo Brazza or Kinshasa?
No, this is Congo Pointe Noire.
Pointe Noire, okay.
Brazzaville. Oh, yes, Congo Brazzaville. Thank you, not Kinshasa. So we are living in Pointe Noire in Congo. Okay, so there was just one major road I remember. And the town was so small that wherever you were going to, we were paying just 700 CFA. You don't even negotiate with the taxi man, because that was the longest distance. It was 700 CFA. And it was just one long road. We were living at the other end of the road, close to the beach. We were walking at the other end of the road, this was in the industrial area. A little bit further was the market. So that was all the town was to us. And this was from 2009 to 2011. In 2011, I left Congo. I went to the US to do my master's. From the US, I went to Canada. I went to a lot of other places, Norway, Argentina, Brazil. Then at one point in time, based on I was working for Total. I left Schlumberger. I had to come back to Congo. So I was like, okay, let's go and see what's Congo like. I was still imagining this tiny
same picture, right?
The same picture. And I was looking for my house. I could not identify my house because the entire neighborhood had changed. That road that was tied, the road was still there, but it was like the small buildings on the left and right have suddenly become big structures. Some empty plots of land I could visualize were carrying massive structure. Some very road that were completely motorable were like, I could not believe my eyes. I was like, is this the same Congo? It was like, so concerning back to your question, Africa is changing, but maybe it's not changing fast enough. And the reason we think it's not changing fast enough is because we have a benchmark. We see how fast other countries are moving.
Exactly.
You understand? No, in the days of our fathers, there was no internet, so information was not that easy to get. So you don't know what other people are doing. Today you are here, you can easily travel. You go online and you see. So because we see the benchmark, what other people are doing, because we see this life out there, we want for ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah.
We start to feel, we
to
are
replicate. And
yes. So Africa is changing, but maybe not fast enough. The problem is the world is moving maybe like 7 to 8 steps per day, and we are taking 1 or 2 steps a day. But I believe that the beauty thing about Africa, I would say, is that I believe we're going to take steps, big steps, instead of crawling, because there are a lot of things we will not need to reinvent. You get my point? So people are doing, instead of taking one step like they do, they learn, they make a mistake, they do all that. We can just say, hey, they've already done this. They just go get the money and implement the technology and do that. So
my friend tells that this actually happens a lot on the tech world again, because for instance in Angola particularly, we skip the the desktop computer revolution.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So
straight to mobile.
Exactly, yeah. Because we you know, at the time we didn't have the exposure and all that stuff. So now that we start, you know, pretty much nobody in Angola had. I mean, some people had, but it's not common to heard about desktop. Yeah. So people jump straight to the mobile.
3.5 the floppy drive. Or
Yeah.
CD-ROM.
Just forget about it. Yeah. You know, the 1 meg floppy drives. Yeah. So a lot of people don't know about it because we just. So I think we can pretty much apply the same principles to that area. We don't need to do the same mistakes. We can try to go straight. You know, skip the issues and go straight to the solution.
Yes, exactly. I think that's absolutely right about that. And we saw it. I remember when you said desktop in my university then. Man, we've changed in Africa. I just remember then that when internet first started coming popular in Nigeria, I was in my university. It was dial-up connection. It was so slow, and then they were charging in my city 10 naira per minute. 10 naira, just okay for simple conversation. I was let's imagine 10 kwanza for 1 minute of using the internet in my university, which means in 1 hour it was like 600 kwanza, right? And then we were all doing it. At least people like me that really love the internet. We were going to
excited
every day.
and all that, yeah.
And then a friend called me from Lagos. Lagos is another city because I grew up in Benin. Lagos was like 4 hours away. And he said, hey, the school just built a library and they put it on computers. Can I believe that you can browse the internet all through the night from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. for 250 kwanza equivalent compared to 1 hour of 600 in my university. When we heard about this, I remember sometimes when we have some classwork from university, my classmates will contribute money for me. I would take a transport 4 hours, drive to that town, spend the whole night in the
to take advantage
of the advantage of just pay 250 kwanza and browse. And when I got there, it was full. Because everybody in neighboring cities, we are all traveling to the same place.
Of course.
We are all trying to get there to get the internet for free. So now I look at it today, you can pick your mobile phone.
Just so easy.
It's so
actually
easy. So you're right.
Now, I mean, me too. When I did my schooling, we had computers pretty much, but you know, the culture wasn't there. You know, I still remember the days where I went to the library for opening the books and actually at the time, it was actually hard to the library to allow us to copy, so we had to pretty much just see and write take your notes. So today, just to go in there, copy and pass, it's quite amazing.
It's amazing. It's amazing what we can do today. Actually, that have opened up new business opportunities and doors in Africa that it's unbelievable. It
ties up to what I want to talk now. We're talking about, as I said, we like to look at what's been working for you guys in Nigeria, on regards to social development, but it goes back to economy, and you touched on a great a main issue that is education. So I wanted to talk to you about that. Like, as you know, in Angola we like 99% oil, and then we take the money to fund education, health, and everything else, and things like our market, job market is not developing. We still rely on a lot of people coming from overseas, like especially when it comes to engineers, specialists and stuff. So I want to talk to you about that. How is it like in Nigeria? Like, I know that your market is way ahead of us. So talk a lot, first of all, on that aspect of the impact of oil in economy, and then how it feeds back to schooling, health, and even like the network or the environment of the market for the professionals in Nigeria.
So, talking about oil and the economy, I would say oil is good, but oil is also terrible. It's bad not in the context of climate and global warming. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about specifically to the economy because of a proven phenomenon they call the Dutch disease. The Dutch disease was first discovered in the Netherlands. It's a case where a society discovers something new, and then it is so easy to do or so easy to make money from, and then human nature kicks in. Human nature is that everybody likes to go to the comfort zone.
Exactly.
If something is difficult for me, I don't want to go to the gym. I just want to stay at home and lose weight. I want to eat a lot of food, lie down and watch my TV, but at the same time looking very slim. This is what I want. So that's what the Dutch disease is. So oil is a little bit easy. I say a little bit easy because once you can drill a good well that well can run for 20 years.
And it pays off quite quickly.
In 3-4 months, you have paid off the initial capital outlay, and then the rest is just the operating expenses over the next year. So this is good because it gives Africa the much needed money to do a lot of things. To, like you mentioned, fund education, pay civil servants their salary. Because in Nigeria, there's a lot of people working for the government. In fact, I have a couple of days ago, I was speaking to a lady. I said, what do you do now? She said, she works in the IT sector for the government. And I was like, okay, can you give me more details? Yeah, we go to the office and we work. I said, what do you mean by work? Sometimes when the work comes, we call. I said, what about today? He said, like, now we don't have work, we are waiting. I said, what about yesterday? He said, this week, or maybe 2 weeks now, they don't have work. The point is, in Africa, because of the unemployment that we face, at least specifically in Nigeria, a lot of people have been absorbed by the government into civil service. Yeah. But in reality, they're not doing anything.
They're contributing actively.
They're just a good day. Some of them are working, but some are not doing anything because they're overstaffed. In an office that can take 10 people in a private organization, in the government, one politician put his brother, another politician put his sister, and all that. You have 50 people in that department, and the government is spending so much money to pay salaries. It pays salaries, and this is where the oil helps. It helps because now at least the people can get indirectly the benefit from the oil. They can feed their families, they can do all that, which is not too good because now that money could have been used for something else. But when people are hungry, you don't have a choice. Yeah. So this is the good part of oil. But the bad part is that it kills the other sectors. I remember when I was just about to get into university, I was trying to decide what was engineering or medicine I should do. And then was because almost all the rich people we knew then in Nigeria at that time were medical doctors. I remember I had a fight with my father. My father said, look, there are no jobs anywhere. If you are a doctor, even when you are 80 years old, you will still get a job because people will going to always fall sick and they're going to come to you and they're going to help, you're going to be able to treat them and get. But if you're an engineer, where are you going to get a job from? You have to try and look for an oil company. And then the oil companies were not that big. They were still coming up. Yeah. They were not that popular.
Relevant, yeah.
You understand? In fact, I can say that it was in my 3rd year in university before I started actively getting to know the oil companies. So, but somehow, some uncles and all that say, medicine is too long in Nigeria, 7 years, 8 years to become a medical doctor. This guy can do 4 or 5 years and already an engineer and is very enterprising with his hands. He can find something to do. So that was how I found myself in engineering. But when the oil starts to boom and blossom in Nigeria and the oil industry starts to blow, everybody's forgetting about every other sector. Now the young kids don't want to be doctors anymore. All the people I talk to, you want to be a doctor? No, I want to work in oil company. I want to work in oil company. I want to make a lot of money. People see you, and I think this is the same in Angola, with a very good similarity. Once a year you're working in an international oil company or the government company, the way they perceive you automatically changes. They see you, and what comes to their mind is, man, this guy has a lot of money. It may be true, it may be false, it doesn't matter. So that is what oil has done for Nigeria. It has killed several sectors. Agriculture has gone down, manufacturing, nothing, because the government is spending so much money on oil. And that is the problem with the Dutch disease. One country that has defeated the Dutch disease that made it work for them very well is Norway. From what I read, Norway has a policy that they do not consume the money from oil directly in the economy. They export it, they invest it, and then they take the proceeds from this investment to use it. So if Africa could do this, but it's easier said than done. When people are hungry, how are you going to tell the government that we just make $1 billion?
And that's exactly your point. Like you got issues to solve now, and you don't have that time to.
Yes, people are hungry. You have issues right now to solve. You don't have money to build. If people are hungry, you've not paid their salaries, and you tell them you want to build a bridge. You see that problem, or you say, we want to build a school. In the ideal textbook case, it's always easier to build a school. Everybody wants to build a school, to build hospitals, but you need to pay the salaries of the people.
People need to eat now.
Yes, but we are having this conversation, and we are just assuming there's no corruption in the system, because of course corruption in Africa is. But the purpose of this discussion is let's for 1 minute forget about the corruption and look at the unique challenges in Africa. So it's quite different. Job opportunities in Nigeria was crazy back then. And it was today is still crazy. I remember when I went to the first company I got to work with when I graduated was Procter Gamble, a manufacturing company that manufactures Pampers, Always, this Gillette shaving stick, body cream. So they were the first manufacturing company I worked with in Nigeria. And I remember in Nigeria they have this culture, I don't know if it's the same in Angola, that most of the companies at that time, for some reason, they did not have enough faith in the universities to hire you directly, one. Or secondly, Nigerian people are very smart. If you say I want the top 1%, someone that has maybe all A's in all their courses, you will see 2,000 people.
Man, that's ridiculous, man. Every time we see like a young prodigy, I'm talking about like science context, math context. It's like 9 out of 10 is for Nigeria. It's ridiculous, man.
Because it's survival of the fittest.
I saw that a day on TV. It's quite old, right? But I mean, she was like 9-10 years old. Like it was like a shoot fire questions, math questions. And she was like a little computer, man. Like I mean, it's amazing. Like so, you guys
survival of the fittest.
You guys have a talent, man. It's amazing.
It's talent, but it's also population. You know, if you look at the mathematics, if we assume that 1% of the population will be smart, Nigeria has a population of 200 million. So 1% is already 2 million people that are smart. What is the population of Angola?
At least today we're looking at 32 million.
2 million.
32. Yeah.
So if we do 1% of 32, I talk about maybe 320,000. So you see 320,000 versus 2 million smart people.
Yeah.
So the whole world will see the Nigerians because they are more. But I'm sure there are also smart people in Africa, so in Angola. Very, very smart geniuses. Brilliant. But the Nigerians are more obvious just because of the population. There are more people. So there's more smart people available. I believe nature is balanced. So I remember back to this recruiting. When we got there to write the exam, because the qualifications were strict, so they wanted you to write an exam before they would employ you. We over 3,000 people that came to write an exam for maybe 10 slots. The advert in newspaper was we need to hire 10 engineers. Okay, and then we got there. They said to apply, send your resume to a particular email address, and then you go to the cyber cafes. I remember all the cyber cafes are full of people just applying for jobs. We went there, you apply online. And then a few weeks later, you got an email to say, okay, come and write a written test. Because they have too many applicants. The company is trying to find a way to filter it. Yeah. So they conduct their own tests. And we got there close to 3,000 people. They were so much that for 1 week, they were writing exams every day. Morning, afternoon, evening. Morning. Because each session was like maybe 1.5 hours. So you come in the morning, they verify your documents and your invitation letter. You go to the examination hall, you write. And you go, they say you will hear from us in 1 week or 2 if you pass the exams. And they did the same thing morning, afternoon, evening for 1 week for just 10 positions that they needed to hire, 10 people. So it's like a lottery. So when you write this kind of exams, you are just like, wow, say God. So I remember when I got the email that I passed, that I should come for an interview, it was like, wait. What's so hard? This is like winning the lottery. Yeah. So I went there, we did all the interviews, and then I started working. And then from there I switched to Schlumberger eventually. But today that problem of population is still huge. Yeah. I get calls very regularly. Here's an opportunities in Total. Oh, even in Angola, is there no business? Can we not come to get a job in Angola? So that unemployment problem in Angola is still there in Nigeria. Yeah. It's a big problem.
Tell me. I want to talk about infrastructure. You spoke about the industry and the manufacturing industry. I want to talk about infrastructures, but do you have like a rough numbers of the how do you call it again? Literacy percentage and unemployment, like percent roughly of the population?
If you talk about the number of employment and unemployment or literacy in Nigeria, I don't know their numbers exactly, but I know the numbers are skewed. When I mean they are skewed, you look at it, it doesn't tell the story. For example, if you go to the news, they will tell you that over 20 million Nigerians are uneducated, children that are out of school. They don't go to school. When you hear that, you think 20 million Nigerians are not going to school? And then you go to a place like Lagos, you're looking for these 20 million people, you cannot find them. Because the country is very divided. The north is very different.
It's a big place, man. It's a big place. It's wide, yeah.
Exactly. The north is very different from the south. The southern part, education is bread and butter. I'm sure literacy is very, very high. Every parent that can afford it, in the south wants to send their children to school. Even those that cannot afford it, sometimes they are struggling. January is a difficult month in Nigeria because this is when people call me, I need money and this. And 90% of those calls in January is, please, I need money to pay my school fees for my children. So the literacy in the south is quite high. But in the north, it's a different game altogether. In literacy is extremely very low. Very, very low. Because they have a system they call the Amajiri. And this is a system that started maybe 250 years ago, which was supposed to be a good system. It was a system where parents that could not afford it would send their children to go and live with a scholar, an academic scholar in another town. And this academic scholar who out of the children, the parents do not pay. The academic scholar will teach the children all they need to learn gradually. And then to support the school, the child will go into the streets to beg for food and some alms. So the money will come and then the academic scholar will use it to take care of the children and take care of himself. So it was a system called the Amajiri system that we're working there. And today there are some millionaires or billionaires, I would say, in the north that claim that they were products of this Amajiri system.
Wow.
But today the Amajiri system has become a nightmare. It's become a nightmare because, number one, those scholars, so to speak, are not true scholars anymore. To you to be a scholar, you have to be properly educated, properly trained. They were products from a bad or an uneducated scholar. You get my point? A scholar that that didn't train them properly, so they themselves are not properly trained to even pass the information.
Of course.
And partly because of corruption, maybe the scholar, all the money he got, he used it for himself, or he saw it as a free way. If it doesn't work, he pretend to be a scholar. And children, they send their children to him. He sends the children into the street just to bring money and he eats it. Money, yeah. So he's not educating the children properly. All they basically do is just to read the Quran, because they're mostly, I would say 99% of them are Muslims. I don't know of any Christian that would send a child to Amajiri, because those scholars are actually Islamic scholars. They just read the Quran day and night. There's no skill that's been impacted. So they cannot read normal form. They cannot write. They cannot. I mean, zero skill.
No results. Yeah.
So today they have become a nightmare, because children that were 25, 30 years ago, children that went to this system, today they are 17, 18, 25, 30, 35 years old with no skill sets. How do you expect them to survive in the world that we have found ourselves today?
Yeah.
These are the people that have joined Boko Haram. When you hear of Boko Haram in Nigeria, there's Boko Haram, they are terrorists. They are concentrated in the north, which there's no Boko Haram activity in the south. Because these are people that have nothing to live for. They are hungry. Because when they were 7 years old, 5 years old, 10 years old, they could go into the streets, and out of pity, you give them something. Now he's 25 years old.
Yeah.
You see a 25 years old man in the streets.
Yeah.
That is, his hands and legs are okay. He's begging for money. Are you going to give to him?
No, man.
You're not gonna, my friend, go and get a job.
Yeah, go get the boxes together, grab the trash, something. Yeah.
Do something, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but how many of them can drive buses?
Yeah.
How many of them can work in the public sector? How many of them have learned how to trade something? So we call it in Nigeria the ticking time bomb, because the population of these people are increasing every year. The new ones are leaving this Amajiri system. They are going to the street with no education. So that's why I said, but when you ask me what is the literacy numbers, we hear every time there are 20 million Nigerians that are out of school, the literacy is very high, but usually it's in the north.
Yeah, gotcha. So how about, to go back to what you said on manufacturing and industry, I want to talk about infrastructures like roads, electricity penetration, internet, water, things that support people. Make it feasible for business and industry to grow.
It's a nightmare. I can tell you straight up. I told you I started working for Procter Gamble. So Procter Gamble was a manufacturing company, and at that time we had 3 manufacturing plants when I was working there. One of them was manufacturing these always sanitary pads for ladies. This was my department. They were manufacturing diapers for babies, the Pampers, and then we also manufacturing Ariel detergent for washing. So those were the 3 manufacturing plants then. And the most critical thing we needed to run those machines, because our machines were running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, was electricity. And there was no electricity. the company was running on diesel generators. Massive diesel generators. Running almost 24 hours a day. Diesel generators. That doesn't mean there's no electricity. There's electricity, but it's not enough to power this industry.
Exactly. Yeah.
In fact, I heard after I left, because I didn't stay too long with them. I spent just 6 months and then moved to another company. After I left, I heard that they brought a new manager, I think an Egyptian, and he didn't stay long, and the company fired him for corruption. The kind of corruption, get what he was doing. He wanted to, the story was that he wanted to improve the economics of the business, and running on diesel generator was not realistic. So he struck a deal with the power company where he goes to bribe some government officials so they can be sending them power. But that means some another business somewhere is being deprived of power. Some other household somewhere will not get that power because the infrastructure is not there. And I'm talking about, this was in 2014, 2015. And now we're in 2022. How many years ago? Sorry, 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
2004, 2005. And now we're in 2022. How many years is that? We're talking about 18 years. And we still have the same power situation. In 18 years in Nigeria, we still have the same powers. I have a very close friend, same age, we grew up together. He's into manufacturing today, hardcore manufacturing, because he inherited a manufacturing plant from his dad. But the guy is a smart guy, he has turned that plant around. And when we talk, he still tells me he still has power problems. They still rely on generators. But, so the entire manufacturing sector in Nigeria struggles because of this. There are a lot of companies who I knew growing up that today do not exist anymore because the environment for manufacturing has not been easy. And one of the biggest challenge they face is the issue of foreign currency. Because a lot of their raw materials and equipment and spare parts are not manufactured in Nigeria, or they are not available in Nigeria at the quantities or quality that they need. So they are forced to import. When I was in Procter Gamble then, the pack we used to pack always, just the plastic nylon bag was imported. Just a plastic nylon bag was imported from Egypt because we could not find a local manufacturer that could manufacture it at consistent quality. If you tell them, make me 200 packs, they will make 200 packs and it will be perfect. Because they made 1 million and they got people to go and pick and select the 200 best by hand and deliver to you. But when you tell them, okay, make 1 million or 2 million packs every day for 1 month, they cannot deliver.
Exactly.
So because the quality, they don't have the infrastructure. So because of that, we are forced to import. And all these companies, my friends' companies, they are forced to import. So what that means is that you are selling to the local economy in Naira. They are paying you in Naira. You now have to convert your Naira to dollars and euros to be able to pay your suppliers abroad.
Exactly.
So all the industries are trying to source for dollar that is coming mostly from the oil and gas.
Exactly.
And it's not enough for everybody. Because also some people wanted to pay the school fees of their children that are schooling abroad. Some people wanted to just go and the traders, that they're not manufacturers, they just buy and sell computers, for example. They want the same dollars to import the dollars to import it from China. So there's not enough dollars to go around, and that has created the black market in Nigeria, where some corrupt government officials, they go into the central bank and buy the dollars at the official rate. They take it and they sell it at a higher rate at the black market to some of these manufacturers, and the manufacturers don't have a choice. They don't have a choice because if they don't buy, they will not be able to get their raw materials. Exactly. So what has happened is that the manufacturer is buying it at a higher rate, so he's forced to sell his products at a higher rate.
Of course.
And then the worst part, I have a good friend, his name is Tangod. He worked in Angola for a while as well. And he made one statement to me in 2013, and I realized that it is so true. The problem manufacturing faces in Africa today is technology. Technology is our biggest disadvantage. Because look at you today. If you decide to manufacture drinking glasses, just to can sell cheap in Angola here, and then you start doing this business and you start making money, I can come and look at you and say, man, this guy is making a lot of money from this. What do I need to do to start immediately? I don't have time. Maybe it took you 1 year to build your plant, get the government licenses, but I want to compete immediately with you. This is because of technology. I make a phone call to China in 1 month time, they've manufactured 1 billion glasses
containers
for me.
and containers.
In containers.
Yeah.
I import it, and you know China, everything is cheap.
And it's cheaper, exactly. That's
exactly.
The thing, yeah.
He comes to Nigeria, I start to compete with you. Remember, you're getting dollars very expensive.
Yeah.
Because you don't have it anywhere. So you're forced to buy expensive dollars. Yeah. And now your products are going to be expensive. Me, I just go to China and charter 1 million glasses, bring to Nigeria, and start competing you. This is what problem with Africa today. Yeah. That is killing the manufacturing company.
And it kills me because there's the mentality of the guy, at least in Angola, there's the mentality of the guys who run the country, man. They want the shortcut result, the short-term results. And even for food they do that, you know. Because you spoke about the Dutch disease. I think when we got out of when we struck our independence, 75, if you look at the GDP composition, you had like coffee, you had like tea, and you had like quite diversified, a lot of stuff. Yeah, we had like coffee. Coffee was one of the big.
And today
is a shame, and you see like it's a big piece of, and you have like
the tiny oil
for others. You just say others, you know.
But you see,
it's amazing, and that's what they do, man. Even food, man, they rather import food, which is way cheaper and it pays off quick results. But they don't think of, okay, in 10 years, where's our food industry gonna be? You know, that kills me, man.
It kills us. But you see, in as much as I hate it too and it pains me, I'm notoriously realistic sometimes. I try to ask myself, if it is your private business, think about your private. You have two options. I spend $1 million just to make some carrots, or I spend $200 to make the same quantity of carrots. Which one will you do?
Well, in a private business, you know,
your private business, 1 million kwanza for carrots business, or 200,000. Which one are you going to do?
Well, in a private business, numbers talk, man.
Exactly. So this is what happens sometimes.
Yeah.
So even the government, they're like, the people are hungry. They really want to spend this amount of money for 10 years. It is good to invest, but sometimes election is coming. They want to impress the people. They want to say, hey, we did this for
results,
you.
Yeah.
These are the results. So quickly they go and get import and bring all this stuff down to. Recently in Nigeria, the government just showed some rice pyramids. They say, oh, this is rice coming from the local farmers. Our agriculture sector is growing. We're doing very well. I pray it is true. I don't know if it is true, but there are rumors, and I want to say this. I don't know if it's true. There are rumors that some of those rice were imported, just to showcase something.
It happened to us just too long ago. We got like a ship full of corn from South America. We're like, why in the hell are we importing corn from South America? It doesn't make any logical sense.
It doesn't make logical sense, but for somebody that did the mathematics, we need the corn. It's easier of growing the corn and doing this and doing that. Okay. And sometimes you talk about the agricultural sector of Angola GDP. Maybe you guys want to, maybe if there was a market in Europe to export some of those things, maybe that particular product or item would have grown. You get my point? They say, I know they grow coffee in Angola here. Do you know how much of coffee is being exported from Angola abroad?
Well, today we have. I don't think we have enough to. How do you say that?
To consume locally and export.
No. We have like a small industry locally, but to make sense financially, you know, you need to, you know, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now someone was thinking, should I invest in this local coffee? Coffee. I just started business importing coffee.
And coffee is the perfect one because the beans, they're good for a very long time. They don't need refrigeration for
Okay, you can store them easily.
Yeah, you can store them easily, and you can roast them or send them raw. Like coffee is a perfect, and the way that people love coffee everywhere around the world, and they need more coffee, you know. So it's perfect, man. You know.
So it's another problem like in Nigeria faced with regards to beans. In Europe, the Nigerian beans is not accepted, and the reason they claim it was not accepted is because the quantity of pesticides inside these beans does not meet the European standard. So you can imagine this. So what that means is that the entire beans industry cannot even approach. So what? Okay, why don't you reduce the pesticides concentration and all that? But you need to understand the climate. Europe is mostly cold, for example. I remember when I used to live in France, where I can cook my food and just leave it on the table. Yeah. And it doesn't get bad very easily.
It doesn't go bad for days. Yeah.
Exactly. But in Angola,
I mean, couple hours, man. If you go out, you come back. It actually happened to me yesterday. You know, I just put some juice in a blender.
Yes.
Like a mango. Went out, came back. The juice was there.
Exactly. So we are forced to use more preservatives and also sometimes all this. And unfortunately, they will say, "Oh, it doesn't meet our market standard because these preservatives are more dangerous or this." Maybe the right thing would have been if our scientists could find alternative preservatives that are not as dangerous and will be accepted in those markets. But
it needs to be strategic.
It needs to be strategic.
Yeah,
it's not something we can just wake up one morning and turn. And like I said, technology works against us because it makes the option cheaper.
Too easy. Yeah.
It makes the other option cheaper.
Yeah.
And then, above all, we lack visionary leaders. Look at China. Have you seen the GDP curve of China?
Yeah, I mean the biggest economy in the world. Yeah.
You know, I love the USA.
Yeah.
Okay, I love them. I don't mind relocating to the USA and staying. I love that country. But sometimes when I hear some of their leaders talk about how their system of government is the best in the world, then I look at China. I say numbers do not lie.
Numbers do not lie. Yeah.
Something about China is working. We will not say, oh, the government is repressing the people, they're monitoring their lives, there's no privacy, there's no freedom of speech. All that may be true, but something they are doing is working.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. The country was poor for many, many years. Today, there is superpower. You cannot close your eyes to all of that. You get my point?
And you don't get there by luck.
You don't get there by luck.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Democracy is beautiful. I tell people that with my friends, they tell me, I say, look, democracy is not for Africa. They say, no, why do you know? I say, no, let's be realistic. Even Europe did not start from democracy. They had kings. It's King of France, King of England, Spain. They started with kings, built some foundations. Okay, once you have built the foundation of a house, then the walls are defined. You can now easily build on those walls. When there's no foundation, anybody can argue, no, let's put like this, let's put like that, let's put. And then we end up just discussing and arguing about the foundation, and the walls never rise up.
Yeah.
But if there's someone that says, you know what, you are right, he's right, I don't care, but I don't care about what you guys think. We are going to go this way. Then everybody focus their resources, they build the foundation up to a particular point. Then now you can have to add the walls of the height of the right. This is what I think is missing in Africa. In Europe, for example, now everything is working very fine. In the US, everything is working fine. But in China, there's not that kind of democracy. In Africa, in Nigeria, for example, we are too diverse. There are over 200 languages in Nigeria. We don't have a common history.
What you said about Nigeria, like about the north and the south, applies. I was reading about Sudan. It's the same thing. It's amazing how like the same country has that type of. I'm not talking about conflict and wars, but the diversity. You know,
it's huge.
It's difficult to come together. Yeah.
The culture from Lagos to Port Harcourt by road. I don't know how bad the road is now because I don't drive that road anymore. But then when I used to drive that road from Lagos to Port Harcourt, was like 7 hours stretch of road. And as you move from that journey in Nigeria, you pass through different towns and different villages. And every time you go into a new town, the language and the culture changes a bit. Yeah. If you pick 2 towns that are next to each other, you will see a lot of similarities. But by the time you complete your 7-hour journey, the belief and the culture of one end is completely different from the end. The northern Nigerians today are majority Muslims. And they believe, for example, that you can get married to a lady at 14 years old. Which is to me is unacceptable. They want to get married to 4 wives. The women love it. They don't mind. It's okay for them. This is their culture. They send their children to a Majiri school, like I just mentioned to you. Okay? But in the East, it's a completely different culture. It's 1 man, 1 wife. In fact, it's the pride of a man in the East to take care of his wife. But their culture is strictly male. It's a male society. A man that doesn't have a son will do almost anything to get a son. Because when he dies, the son takes over. And they are also very enterprising. The western part is agriculture, education, and party. We used to call them a Wambe. we make a joke that the man from the west of Nigeria, Yoruba man, will be broke from January to December. Finally, in December, someone gives him some amount of money. Instead of him to save the money for the next year, he'll be so excited we use the entire money to organize a big party and consume everything in December and start the cycle. Completely different ways of culture. Even then, marriage. Until recently, to marry a Yoruba lady that wants to get married to an Igbo is a big problem. Even till today, from people from the south, from the west and east to marry from the north, the cultural gap is too different. So that culture affects Africa in a lot of ways, and it affects our economy. Yeah, because we are too diverse.
Yeah, it's all about people. It's all about people. It's all about the persons. Yeah,
we are too diverse. In Europe, that diversity was split into countries: French people, England, English, Spain, Spanish, Portugal, Portuguese, the German, the Dutch. So they split. It's like our small villages in Africa became small countries, and each country was trying to did a healthy competition of the next country. I watch some movies and you see the King of France. We go to see the King of England and see the way his palace is looking beautiful and his robe. And when he gets back home, he wants to do the same thing. Healthy competition. Yeah. But in Africa, the colonial masters have grouped us into countries that sometimes these people culturally they don't have any historical connection. Yeah. But now you are forcing them to live together.
And the opposite as well, drew the line and split like a...
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you see in both ways. Sometimes people that are together, they draw a line and they split into two. Yeah. And it has become a mess. Yeah. So, but we as Africans, I still believe that despite all this, we cannot be living with this excuse forever. This is 2022. We need to wake up and change. And I see this happening every day. So there are some things like that I see coming up from Nigeria, and I see you in Angola, and I just smile. I say, okay, this is beautiful. I used the Tupuka app here recently, and I smiled. I'm like, okay, we have Tupuka here. I remember my first day in Angola, I was asking someone, is there Uber here? They said, no, there's no Uber, but they have the local version of it. And I smiled. I was like, yeah, I was happy.
And it works.
It works, exactly. I've used it a couple of times. Yeah. It works. That is the beauty of it. Like I mentioned earlier that I'm the tech guy, and there's a big difference. I see opportunities in tech in Angola. That I'm like, wow.
That's what I wanna head to now. Well, you've been in Angola for a while, and you get in touch with people, a lot of people from Angola. What opportunities you see here? Like because again, I tend to think that the not being exposure to English, like I think speaking English is a great advantage when it talks to development and all that stuff. Even the knowledge, like some information is only available in English or some specific language. But Portuguese, it's not a strong language worldwide. So where do you think we could capitalize and do you see people in Angola?
Question.
I'll give you a couple numbers. Angola has, like, as I said, around 32 million people, but more than half are 14 years or younger.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have an issue with internet today. They believe to be 25% access to internet. I'm not sure about the electricity penetration, but we have a market. But looking at the people, like you see the people who have a lot of needs. The way they carry out themselves, the way they do business around, like the face-to-face and person-to-person type of way. You see a lot of opportunities. So I wanted to talk to you about that. What?
Very good question. The biggest opportunity I see in Angola that blows my brain anytime I think about it is in finance. I see it a lot in finance because the great tech revolution, that's what I call it, that happened in Nigeria, but it's happening every day. Companies every day are raising millions of dollars in Nigeria. The great tech revolution that happened in Nigeria started when finance started to make sense. When I mean finance started to make sense, I'm talking about e-commerce. Not in the traditional sense of buying and selling, but the ability of people to pay for products and services instantaneously. In Nigeria years ago, there was a company, then I had this idea called to build a website. I wanted to call it buy and sell in Nigeria. My idea of the website was people that have products to buy will come and list it. People that have products to sell will come and list. People that have to buy will come and buy. Just like Amazon. This was I'm talking about way back in university. But I was thinking, how would people pay? how would I pay the money? If I want to sell something online, how do people pay me? They have to go to the bank, transfer the money to my account. How many days will it take for the money to reflect, for me to be confident that this person have actually paid? It is not instantaneous. I don't know if you have seen the problem there. The internet only works when payment is instantaneous.
Of course.
And when it is easy. Because you put yourself in your shoes. You want to buy something online. You're thinking of buying the phone. You've gone through it. You really like it. If you can pay for that phone immediately, you're more likely to buy it than if they say, okay, this is my account number, go online and transfer.
Yeah.
Or go to the nearest multi-cashier and transfer.
Yeah.
Sometimes that stress can
it just kills the transaction.
It just kills the transaction.
Yeah. Just
Nigeria changed when online payments became instantaneous. Today there are at least 4 companies that I know that are doing online payment in Nigeria. The 2 biggest one, Flutterwave and Paystack. They started the last 4 to 5, 10 years, and now they're billion-dollar companies. Billion-dollar company. With these 2 companies, you can use your MasterCard, your Visa card, any of the international cards. You can just go online. Foreigners that come, that wants to do stuff, can just go online and pay. They can easily pay for hotels. They can order food. They can pay for an Uber. They can go to Instagram and look for, hey, I like this shoe, and they pay. Contact the seller. The seller sends the link, and they pay, and instantaneously they get the money in their bank account. I mean, it's like instantaneous.
Yeah, the validation isn't easy. If you have money, it's okay. If it's on credit,
but then the second part of it is bank transfers. I've told you I traveled to 22 countries. The only place I've seen something similar, but it's not even as perfect, is in Canada and US. US, where I'm talking about something where I transfer money from one bank to another bank, not the same bank. I'm not saying from buy to Banco Big. No. Let's say, I'm not saying from buy to buy. I'm saying from buy to Banco Big, another bank altogether. And the payment, the transfer is instantaneous, like seconds.
Over the weekend.
Angola is over the weekend. In Lagos today, if you say, hey, I want to buy this your phone, I say, oh, give me your bank account. When I transfer the money to you, I don't care what bank you are using. Even if it's a small community microfinance bank, when I transfer the money to you, instantaneously, you have the money. That has opened up great business opportunities in Nigeria. And that is something I see in Angola. The only thing I know of in Angola, maybe there's another one, is the multi-cashier system. Just 1 month ago, I was traveling back home to Nigeria for Christmas. I had to buy my tickets online from a tag. I could not pay for my tickets online on the tag website. The only way I could pay was to get a number, a reference number.
The reference, yeah.
Then go to a multi-cashier machine and type it and pay. The only things I can do online comfortably is my TV cable subscription, internet, and download my phone, a few things with the multi-cashier app. But the point is, I have to leave those platforms, I have to leave those systems to go and use my app to pay. When I ordered Tupuka for them to bring food here, because when the guy came here, I brought out my multi-cashier card to pay the guy. So I see an opportunity in Angola. If someone can build a system where people can instantaneously pay. Look at my glasses. The day I wanted to buy my glasses here in Angola, I didn't have enough money I went to the shop, I saw the glasses I liked, but the price was a little bit high. I didn't have enough money in my
credit card,
my debit card to pay. So I called a colleague in the office. I think I even called Zaida, or I called one of us. Hey, I need this amount of money in this thing. I will give you. She was like, okay, no problem. But I said, can you transfer it now? I thought I was in Nigeria. I said, yes. She said, but it did not reflect till on Monday or Tuesday. I was like,
forget about it, The shop just lost a transaction, right?
I mean, in Lagos, instantaneous. So if someone in Angola can build a system that we make transfer within banks, instantaneous, then the entire landscape changes completely.
Yeah, I agree with you.
People, even it affects security as well. You don't need to travel with so much cash. You don't need to go to a multi-cashier machine and stand in a queue. Okay, you don't need to rely on say, okay, I forgot my card at home. You get school, because sometimes it happens. You may forget your wallet.
Yeah.
You can misplace your wallet. I've gone somewhere before here and I lost my wallet. I needed to pay for something. All I needed to know was I know in my head my internet banking details. Mm-hmm. So I just got the phone from a guy, securely access my website, my bank through the website, and paid for a product. Just bank transfer. I didn't use my card. I was like, what is your account number? He gave me his account number. I transferred. Instantaneously, he got his money. I was able to get what I needed out of there. So that is first opportunity in Nigeria. Because I know in Angola, because it is the biggest and fastest growing opportunity in Nigeria, and it will attract foreign investors.
I mean, exactly what you say, it changes everything. Some business might not be feasible now because we don't have that, and they're gonna turn into feasible and profitable. Yeah, if we change that, for sure.
If you have a handyman that come to work let's imagine I build a website in Angola where people can get artisans, someone to fix your AC, to fix your fridge, to fix something that is broken in your house. Imagine there are a lot of guys that have this skill. They've signed up on this website, and then when they come to your house, the guy sees the problem, say, okay, your problem is with your AC, I can fix it. He fixes it for you immediately. You verify that it is okay, and then you transfer the money to him. That is an opportunity. You get me, the owner of the platform, I could do it such a way that, okay, before that guy comes to your house to make that repair, I pay online for the service. I take my small commission, 10%, 15% commission. So when the guy goes to your house and he does the repair, you don't need to pay the guy. I pay the guy. I can do this kind of platform because the money is already in my hand. If I tell the guy, okay, go to his house, when he gets there, he will pay you. I'm worried that when the guy collects the money, he will not pay me my commission.
All the other way around. You tell the customer, you make the bank transfer. You know, the transfer takes long, and
exactly. It could be in a weekend, for example. Sometimes you go to the multi-cash machine, there's no machines out, there's no money there, and you don't want to go out. The guys go, so how do you solve that problem?
Yeah.
So that is one opportunity. If someone can fix instantaneous transfers or online payment within websites, you don't need to go to another platform. You don't need to go to the multi-cash machine or the multi-cash app where you want to buy something. Okay, they just enter your credit card number and pay. Or I don't know. That would be a big opportunity. Second opportunity I see in Angola just has to do with finance, but on a different scale. When I used to live in Talatuna, there's so many weekends, especially when we have the public holidays, where the machines run out of money. You go there, you cannot find cash, and you may have something to do with cash. I have the lady that used to clean my apartment. Then she was not very comfortable with, or should I say, she didn't have a bank account, I would say, to transfer money to her to pay her salaries. So what I always do, I will pick some cash, okay, and then give to her to pay her salaries. Or when I'm going around and I want to go to the beach or other places, I like to have a little bit of cash with me for security.
You have to. Here you have to, yeah.
Yes. Then, what if I forgot during the week to get the cash? Now I'm going to the machine, there's no cash. The first time I went to the machine, I went to Pela shopping, there was no money. I went to Kandando, there was no money. I went to Kero Shami, all in Talatuna. 3 big malls that I know, all the machines had no money. So I told my friends, there's one machine here in Mayanga. Drive down, you will see some money. I was like, okay, I really need some money. Because I wanted to go out that evening. I drove down all the way from Talatuna to Mayanga. By the time we got to that machine, there was no money.
Oh, man.
We drove to this new mall here. Where's the mall?
Fortaleza, close to the marginal.
We went there, no money. And I was like, how can this be? And in Nigeria, the opportunity I see, and I told Zayda in the office, we were laughing at me, people have gone to the Nigeria banks and collected the multi-cash machine. We call them POS in Nigeria. They get the POS. During the week, from Monday to Friday, they withdraw cash. Okay? And then on weekends like this, they go and stay next to a machine that has run out of money. So they have cash in their pocket. They have the POS machine. So when you come with your card to withdraw and you check, there's no money in the machine, they tell you, hey, I have my POS machine. So you put your card into their POS machine, then they take a commission out of it. So if you want to withdraw 10,000, for example, you type 10,000, and the guy will give you 9,700 kwanza. You get my point? So it's a business. And I know people that are doing this as let's leave it. They have POS machines all over the city in different places in Lagos. And they are easily making the equivalent of 5,000 kwanza per machine per day as profit. 5,000 kwanza. It may be small, but think about, for some of those people, that's all the market woman in the market. How much does he make a day?
Yeah.
I know of a guy that has 15 of such POS machines. Now in Lagos, you see them. People locate areas where there are no machines at all, no ATM, or we call it ATM machines, what you call multi-cash machines. When you go to those neighborhoods, all you see are people with umbrellas, okay, written with signposts, POS, and the guy will sit down there. And the guy sits down there, and people just walk up to him. And this is also enabled because of the international, instantaneous transfer. If you want cash, you put your what's it called, your card into the POS. The guy types the amount, you pay him, he gives you cash.
Yeah. And acknowledge the transfer immediately.
Yes, because the machine confirms the machine is approved. Those are maybe after a while when their battery runs down, because maybe too many transactions, so they remember we have electricity issue. They just go with their mobile phone. When you come, you do a regular bank transfer. They give you the account number. You transfer from your bank to their bank. They see the transfer instantaneously. They give you the cash.
Yeah.
And reverse, the market women around that sell stuff, or the small shops on the street that, so they had a good day. Instead of traveling maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes to go to a bank to pay the money into their bank, they go to these same guys in the machine. The guys collect their cash and do an instantaneous transfer to their bank.
Yeah.
So imagine I'm a POS machine. I went there in the morning with, let's say, 200,000 kwanza. And a lot of people have come up, and my money is gradually running down. But the day is just 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Imagine there's a party or something happening around. So everybody that came needed money. So now it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm making only 15,000 kwanza. These guys will just walk to a shop, a small shop anywhere. Hey, do you guys have cash? Say, yes, we have cash. Okay, I need the cash. You give them, maybe the guy will call maybe another 300,000 from you cash, and he transfers straight online or to your bank account. You confirm it instantaneously. The guy takes his cash, he runs back to his small stand, and is doing business.
That's it. Yeah, in business. Yeah. That's.
This is one opportunity I see in Angola.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I think I wanna send a shout out to two guys. So Mauro Sergio is a friend of mine who's been working actively on this solutions for bank payment, automatic bank payment, and he actually told me that the kickback from the regulators is so much that he thinks the only way to sort it out is just jump into a tatami, to fight physically with them and say whoever wins the fight set to get the rules. And also on that solution, I believe that Tupuka, you mentioned Tupuka twice, and Ericsson, shout out to you. I think that they had trying to roll out a solution like that, they're trying to because this is the issue, and I think they have a couple of the same guys who deliver now can, depending on your location, they can assist with some cash. But I need to see more about it. But I think they've tried to do something.
That would be good. I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
that would be a good one. So you can order for cash basically instead of order for food. That's a good one. Instead of going to order for food, you order for cash.
You can put a request and say I need this much, and not sure how much money they charge for.
But is that safe from a security point of view?
Well, I need to find out more about if it's feasible as a business, like if it's what the banks tell about it, because this facilitation, is it legal? Is it doable?
In Nigeria, in Angola,
yeah. In Angola, yeah. And also commission is taken, yeah. But I think it's trying to rule out.
At least one thing about technology, I realize in Nigeria, some of the things the tech young people are doing, I don't consider them illegal because they are so new that there's no law against them yet.
Exactly, yeah.
You get my point?
Exactly, yeah. And if it comes, needs to be built around it instead of
because
go against it.
You're not breaking the law because the law says don't do it, but it's just a new idea that the law did not consider it at that point in time.
Of course, yeah.
You understand? The law did not consider it. So that's it. I know someone we've discussed about that in Lagos, about delivering cash to people. He was thinking about parties. Because in Nigerian parties, people tend to spray cash.
Yeah.
So what if we do a system?
I've seen the videos, but they have those fresh, brand new packs of money. I'm like,
No, it's a cultural thing in Nigeria. Nigeria, okay.
I mean, they're brand new, man. Like the ones from the bank.
From the south is a society that is built on flamboyance.
Mm-hmm.
It's that everyone wants to be flamboyant. Everyone wants to show off.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you see a young guy from the university wants to buy a big car.
Mm-hmm.
The same way, so in a wedding, instead of giving the people the cash in the small envelope,
Mm-hmm.
some people still do it. But the couple themselves, sometimes they like to dance and celebrate, and then people come
so
and it's cultural. Since when I was a baby till now, it still happens. Okay, so that cash thing. The reason I asked whether is it safe, because the concern we had then was, what is some criminal elements?
Mm-hmm.
They pretend to order cash. So when the guy is coming, they know this guy has cash.
Exactly, yeah.
And then he gets attacked.
And he's by himself, yeah.
Yes, exactly. He's by himself. He gets attacked by someone on the street. So the guys, because the case where people get robbed, there was a guy in Nigeria that was arrested. He went on an online platform, and ordered iPhones,
Mm-hmm.
like 3-4 iPhones. And when the delivery man came to deliver, he took the iPhones and killed the delivery man. This was some years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a risk involved in every way. But I just feel it's delivering cash is quite tricky. Even these POS machines, what some people do is that they work in groups. So even the guy has cash, there are still some other people around watching that, okay, this guy has cash. And usually it's in a populated place where all the traders know him that, okay, this is the guy that sells cash, is right here. So it's not just easy for you to come and attack him and take his cash. You understand?
Yeah. No, this is a great consideration, man.
Yeah. So that sort of finance is what I say in Angola.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of opportunities there.
No, I mean that's the first one you said pretty much changes everything and open opportunities for new stuff that we don't even thinking about at the moment. Yeah. So
there's some things. Then another one, I don't know if it exists in Angola yet.
Uh-huh.
There were some guys that did it in Lagos, where they go into the market and they basically signed up with almost all the local dealers who that sell stuff, such a way that how will I put it now? Like they give them like an app. So let's imagine you sell cornflakes or cereals. So they give them they built a system that when you run out of cornflakes, instead of you to call your distributor, you just call these guys and they just come and deliver. Sometimes you go with an app. You just go an app and say, okay, I need so cornflakes. So they come, they deliver to your shop, and then you sell. Okay, and they themselves, they're getting directly from the distributors. So it is not the delivery that is unique, because those are already delivery systems today. But what is unique is the data that is coming out of it for the manufacturers and the importers. Because before,
the patterns of consumption of the products. And,
okay, so let me explain the old style and the new style. The old style is that I import one container of, I don't know, give me something, books. I take the books, I distribute it to 3 guys. Okay, and those 3 guys distribute to 10 guys, then 100 guys. So I don't have any visibility on how my books were. So I just have these 3 or 4 guys that I give it to. Okay, and there's a lot of middlemen in the middle until finally the end price is very high. When there's a slump in demand, I don't get to know on time. I may have bought new ones. Or when there's a kickoff in demand,
you might not be prepared. Yeah.
What these guys do, they automated the process with a simple app on the phone. Very, very simple, basic apps. So the guy at the end that sell, the retailer that is selling the books or whatever, he just goes to the app and like as if he's buying just a regular e-commerce shop, but that app is connected only to his suppliers. So when those guys buy, so using this kind of data, they can tell even before your 3 guys approach you to say I want to buy, they can already see more orders coming up. You get me? And with data, that has changed the whole landscape. These guys raised over $15 million in Nigeria from foreign investors. They approached Cadbury and they approached Procter Gamble, I think. I need to be sure of the company, but from what I heard, they approached one of those companies and asked for a 1-month trial. Say, hey, let's go and do this for you guys. And those guys were amazed because now you can actually find the hot spots where your orders are coming from GPS locations. So they realize that almost all the orders are coming from Talatona.
They can adjust their strategy.
They can adjust it. You can go and build a distribution center right there.
And the opposite, okay, this one is not selling much, maybe we get rid of
it. Exactly. Real-time data. So it's an opportunity I see here in Angola. So people are thinking.
I'm sure that from what you share with us, people listening to it's got, the ideas are sparking already. So that's what it was about, man. Ehiz, thank you so much for your time, man.
Thank you.
I'm so happy. I'm sure gonna have the chance to see it again, because for what we said, we just been here for an hour, and there's stuff that came to my mind, but I could not squeeze into it.
No problem. We can go to that session.
No.
I'm still here for at least one more year.
Yeah. So
before we go, I just want to say something that
go for it, man.
Angola,
Go for it, man. Go for it, please.
You guys are awesome in this country.
Yeah.
Okay, I've done 2 years. This is my 3rd year, and in the 22 countries I've lived, I can tell you that I've enjoyed myself in Angola.
Yeah.
It feels like home.
Yeah.
The only thing that reminds me that I'm not in Nigeria is when the people open their mouth and they speak Portuguese.
The language, yeah. No,
but the people are awesome. They're very, very good people, and I just want to say thank you guys for welcoming to your country.
And you're very welcome, man. And that's
great.
This is the feeling that we get when we get the African capitals, man. You feel like home,
Yes.
You take a plane, you land, and you feel like home. It's something special, man. Yeah.
No, in fact, when I was stopped by the police, the way I interact with the police, I found interact with the policeman.
I heard you talking some Portuguese already, man. So.
When you go to the US as a black man and sometimes the police stop you, even though you are okay, you speak, but you are still a little bit cautious.
Exactly.
Angola, I just feel like
same thing in Europe, man. Something tells you that you don't belong there. You're not being disrespected or so, but something it's not.
I know, but Angola, I've enjoyed myself. I don't mind staying much longer.
Yeah. No, I mean this, and we're always happy to have African brothers, and to share this experience, because. We share so much in history and demographic aspects that if we collaborate more,
yes, it's true.
There's no way we're gonna grow.
It's so true.
Yeah.
And then easy way I can say that collaboration that I love the most is the direct flights from Angola to Lagos. 3 hours.
Yeah.
It makes my life easy.
Yeah.
And I just want to say thanks again to everyone.
Oh yeah. No, thank you so much for your time, man. Pessoal, é tudo o que temos para hoje. Obrigado por ficarem connosco até o fim. Então não se esqueçam de acompanhar as nossas redes sociais e os nossos episódios no Club Business no YouTube em vídeo. Então, obrigado. Ehiz again, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure, man.
Thank you very much.
Cheers,
thanks.
Cheers.